metabolism can naturally decline over time, but actually with the right strategy, you can improve your metabolism over time so that this weight gain isn't inevitable, or if the weight gain has already happened, then you can start to slowly shift that stubborn weight without having to diet, without having to spend hours in the gym, hours in the kitchen, and actually eat and live a normal life. It is possible, and I see it every day in my clients. Hello and welcome to the Thriving Metabolism podcast. I'm Louise Digby, registered nutritional therapist, and my team and I are dedicated to helping women over 40 to optimize their health and regain their sparkle so that they can lose weight without the struggle, without all the conflicting advice and confusion, and maintain it in the long term so they can really live their best lives. Today, we're going to be digging into some really common myths that can sabotage your success. They're myths that are very pervasive and they're not helpful. So I really wanted to go through them, break them down, and help you to understand the facts. Have you ever felt like your metabolism has hit a wall since turning 40? Are you frustrated with weight loss strategies that just don't seem to work anymore? You're not alone. Many women in their 40s and beyond are asking the same questions about, their bodies and why it's not working and why it feels like nothing that you do helps. And about 65% of women in their 40s and 50s experience weight gain around the abdomen. If you've been struggling to lose weight despite trying various diets and exercise routines, it's likely because of common myths surrounding metabolism and aging. These myths can be misleading, making you believe that weight loss is impossible as you age. Without addressing these misconceptions, your weight loss journey can feel like an uphill battle, leading to frustration and confusion about what really works. So let's dig into some of these common myths. One of them is a slower metabolism is inevitable with age. Now, whilst our metabolisms do decline over time, after the age of 35, we do reduce metabolism year on year as we gradually lose muscle mass. But this isn't inevitable. It's not like we can't do things to combat this. It's absolutely within your control to address this decline in metabolism. But here's the catch. A lot of the typical diets, restrictive diets, ones that are focused on calories or cutting out food groups or doing really high levels of exercise, they're actually counterintuitive and they cause a faster decline in your metabolism because of how they result in muscle loss. So these diets and typical strategies that we tend to turn to, they might help in the short term, but they tend to drive weight gain in the long term. And that's why we tend to experience rebound weight gain after we've made a concerted effort with our diet and exercise. So yes, metabolism can naturally decline over time. And for a lot of women, that's accelerated by their weight loss efforts. But actually, with the right strategy, you can improve your metabolism over time so that this weight gain isn't inevitable, or if the weight gain has already happened, then you can start to slowly shift that stubborn weight without having to diet, without having to spend hours in the gym, hours in the kitchen, and actually eat and live a normal life. It is possible, and I see it every day in my clients. And, this myth kind of goes hand in hand with the next one, which is weight loss is impossible after a certain age. I can't tell you how many times I've had conversations with ladies who have told me that their doctor or their menopause nurse or whoever has said to them, oh, well, now that you're menopausal, there's nothing that you can do. It's just the way it is. You're going to gain weight and, you just need to accept that you're going to be bigger now. And that's so upsetting to hear. It's so demoralizing, and it's just not true. I can tell you from working with hundreds, close to 1,000 women now, that we achieve steady weight loss time and time again. And it's true that dieting won't achieve these results. So, the doctors and nurses who've said this, we're onto something, but that doesn't mean that it's impossible. And it's just that as you get into your 40s and 50s, maybe even late 30s, sometimes these changes can start happening earlier. As you get into this stage of life, you just need a different approach. It's not that you can't achieve it. You just need a different approach that's aligned with how your body works. And as I said, these myths are pervasive. We hear them all the time, and it's going to really erode your belief that it's possible for you to achieve your health and wellness goals. And one of the most important things I find is actually that self-belief that we can do this, we can achieve it. Because if you don't believe that you're going to be able to do it, then it's more likely that there's going to be self-sabotage. It's less likely that we're going to be consistent with the actions we need to take to get us to where we need to be. So where possible, do your best to kind of drown out these myths and ignore these things that we hear and we see on social media, and try to stick with the facts, because it's so easy to be influenced by just random things that are going around. So in terms of what works to address stubborn weight and optimize health in this stage of life, we really need to take a holistic approach. It's really not just about calorie counting or dieting or going to extremes at all. We need to make sure that we are focusing on our hormones, our gut health, and our overall well-being. These are all factors that play a really big role in the way that our body manages our metabolism and manages fat burning and fat storage. And I think this is where pretty much every approach falls short. They only focus on food and exercise. And, you often hear things like it's 80% nutrition, 20% exercise, or various variations of that. And it is true to an extent. You definitely cannot outrun a bad diet or out-exercise a bad diet. And it's definitely not a case of just burning off the calories that you eat. We need to be thinking about these things for sure, but we also need to be thinking about other factors like the potential imbalances that could be happening in your body with gut health and hormones and these other things that I've mentioned. We also need to be thinking about factors like stress and sleep and toxic load. There's lots of things that impact your metabolism, and just focusing on food and diet is just so not enough to address these issues when you're in this stage of life. And the best results come with a holistic approach and also a personalized approach, one where you're focusing on what's actually going to be specific to you, things that are actually going to be important to you. Because when you start looking into it, when you start reading, there are thousands of different things you could be doing. You could be doing X workouts and eating certain type of diet, and you could be taking this supplement and that supplement and that supplement, and you could be using this app for mindfulness, and there's just hundreds and thousands of things that you could be doing, and it is so overwhelming. And the likelihood is that the vast majority of it probably isn't even relevant to you. Certainly when it comes to supplements, there's so many out there that all have all this great research behind them. But we certainly don't want to be taking all of those things, even though there's the potential that they could be useful. So we've got to think strategically about what are our priorities and what things are actually going to be impactful for us. And this is really where my new ebook comes in, Reignite Your Metabolism. It's a 3-step weight loss guide for women over 40. This ebook really serves as a resource that helps to tackle these metabolism myths and to help support you throughout your weight loss and health journey. I really put this ebook together because over the years, I've written blogs, I've delivered podcasts, I've done social media posts and various freebies, and I've got all this information everywhere. And I really wanted to bring it all together into a concise, strategic, and just information-packed resource so that you can get it all in one place. And so that you really have all the tools, all the information, and the strategy that you need to be able to conquer your weight loss journey in the long term. The ebook really addresses the specific challenges that women over 40 have, which includes hormonal shifts and gut health issues and metabolism changes. It goes into debunking common myths so that you can get clarity on what really is important for you to be focusing on and, what things you can just completely ignore. And getting clarity is so freeing. It really helps just free up your mind so that you can put your energy into things that matter. It is a 3-step approach. So the 3 steps are, first of all, uncovering hidden imbalances. Now, this might be paying attention to your symptoms. It might be looking at test results from your doctors and looking deeper into those results to understand them better. When you go to the doctors, so often what happens is you're just told, well, everything's normal, no action required. But whilst it might all look normal on the surface, if we look a little bit closer and we look at where things are falling within the reference ranges, even if it says that they're normal, actually, if we look at, are they at the top of the range or the bottom of the range? And if we look at the patterns between different markers, even markers that might be seemingly unrelated, when we look at those patterns, we can learn an awful lot about what's going on in our bodies. And I've put that all into this ebook so that you can look at your test results, look at the interpretation guide, and understand, what does it mean? What is this telling me? Is it all normal? Am I actually functioning optimally? Or is there more to it? Are there other areas that I need to explore? Are there strategies that I can implement based on the information that I've got here? So that's really powerful, because when you know that you're working from the facts, it really helps to motivate you, and it helps you to kind of put the faith in taking a slightly different approach. Now, you may have heard me talk about in the past that with my clients, I do very advanced testing. I do have the details of that in the ebook as well, in case you work with other practitioners and you've got that information to hand. But also, even if you haven't been able to do that type of testing and you have just got the basic doctor's testing, you're still going to be able to interpret that information in a much more meaningful way. Now, that's the first step. The second step is repairing and optimizing your metabolism. Now, what does this even mean? You might be thinking, how do I repair my metabolism? Well, metabolism, in order to address your metabolism, we need to look at the things that impact your metabolism. So first of all, think about things like getting your thyroid functioning optimally, making sure that we've got suitable muscle mass, making sure that we're taking steps to repair our mitochondria. The mitochondria are the energy factories in every cell in our body, and they are where we make energy. They're where we burn calories, we burn fats. And these mitochondria can be damaged, and sometimes we can actually lose mitochondria and have fewer of them in the body. So with making tweaks to our diet, to our lifestyle, we can actually improve the health of our mitochondria, improve the amount of mitochondria that we have, so that we actually burn energy, burn fat more efficiently, and feel more energized, but also improve our metabolism and lose weight more easily. How amazing would that be? And then the third step is integrating sustainable lifestyle changes. All of this is completely pointless if we can't do it in a way that's sustainable. We have to be making changes that we're going to be able to keep going with in the long term. So everything that I recommend in this ebook is stuff that is actually going to be practical for you to implement in the long term. And we'll be talking about how to form new habits, how to stack habits, how to use strategies to make sure that the things that you're doing, you're actually going to be able to see through in the long term so that you can maintain the benefits in the long term as well. So it's really about tailoring for your changing body, taking steps that are going to be suitable for your specific needs at this stage in your life. It's about taking a holistic approach so that we're not just focusing on diet and exercise. We definitely will talk about that in the ebook. Diet, not in terms of restrictive diet, but more about what to eat, what to focus on, what to prioritize. Everything that I recommend in the ebook is science-backed. It's all grounded in the latest research on women's health, metabolism, and longevity. This isn't just anecdotal. I'm not just doing it based on what I've seen work. It is based on that, but those strategies have come from what the science says. As I say, it's all strategic, it's all practical, it's all sustainable, just sensible, doable changes that are going to fit into your real life. And it also goes beyond weight loss because, let's face it, while you will lose weight and while I'm sure you want to lose weight, what really makes a difference to your day-to-day life is feeling more energized, having better mental clarity, sleeping better, having vitality. And what I always find with the ladies that I work with one-on-one, these are always the things that by the end of the program are the things that have made the real difference to their lives. Yes, losing weight is amazing and they're always so pleased to have done so. But actually, for most of them, the journey becomes about optimizing health. And so it's so important that the steps that you're taking are aligned with that and are going to help you to achieve that. And they definitely are in this ebook. So by combining the insights from research with practical strategies, this ebook is going to help you to navigate the complexities of weight loss in your 40s and beyond. And you'll learn how to support your body naturally and implement strategies that lead to lasting results. Now, you can grab your copy of Reignite Your Metabolism, a 3-step weight loss guide for women over 40. Just go to louisedigbynutrition.com/ebook40. And here's the best part. Use the code LAUNCH for an exclusive 50% off to help you take that first step towards sustainable weight loss. And this offer is only available for a very limited time. So make sure you take fast action to get your hands on this amazing ebook for 50% off. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I really hope you found it helpful. If you've enjoyed this episode and you're enjoying this podcast, I'd be so grateful if you could leave us a review and head to iTunes and give us a 5-star review. And if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you hit like and subscribe. Thanks so much again. Your healing journey really starts with you, with that first small step. It's time to leave the frustration behind and embrace a method that truly works for your body.